water. Good morning. Oh yeah, it's still morning for another half an hour. There are many new people. Welcome. If you're here from the Hemingway Jones show last night, lovely to have you. And we're going to get into this because my Cozmick Creations Advent calendar, there's already been a video on this that I will leave a link to once this is over down below. It arrived on the 9th because FedEx lost it. And so I opened the first 9. I was going to open yesterday's yesterday. I forgot, which I think is going to turn into a reoccurring issue with this Advent calendar, purely because I haven't been opening it since day 1 and I'm just sort of not thinking about it. So you'll notice this video starts with contains spoilers in the title, and that's because what we're actually going to do is we're going to open the entire thing. I'm going to divide this page into 24 and I'm going to do the entire thing. We're going to film it like this and then I'm going to edit it down for all of my swatching videos. So let's pull this lovely, yeah, I know, you're magneted to the container, card out and divide this up into 24. Well, let's do inches. So we are, maybe a sticky note to write on. Do I have a sticky note? Nope, but I have old business cards. I want to say these are damaged business cards, actually. So 4, 1, 2, 3/4. No. 3/8 by X3 5/16. The math on this is gross. Okay. What's half? I'm gonna pick half. What's half? Half is, let's call it 3 1/4. Half is there. Three 1/4. Half is here. All right, which means now we go here. We go, what's half? And we go, oh, that math is gross. Oh, it's less gross. I can make it less gross. Ten 16ths. Okay, 1 second. Half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is 10/16. What's this say? Cool. I actually, this ruler came up in Hemingway Jones last night. or the Hemingway show last night, because I genuinely use this all the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you are now seeing it in action. And the reason I love this ruler is because the lines don't rub off. It stays still. It's heavy. It's everything I want in a ruler. It's got a really good straight edge for when you want to tear things. All right, let's do the same up here. Except it's not 10/16. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. We're not going to question that. We're just going to deal with the fact that the ones up here are a little bit bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 second, where should I be counting 6 from? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I can't. Oh no, it wouldn't have given me, because it's not base 10. That middle one definitely looks bigger. I don't care. Which is today's answer to life. Is, do I care? Nope. So let's find the middle point, which means it's 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, there's 3. Let's do a line down here too. All right, making progress. Oh, and now we have to divide across. Two and 3/16 divided by 3. I don't think that divides easily. Mm-hmm. 16. Okay, here. So that's how I'm going to divide it out. All right. Can you? Yeah, I was not raised on inches. I was raised on centimeters, but this ruler doesn't have millimeters on it, which I would say is the only downside. But I think it would also make this side very crowded to have millimeters. So 35 divided by 3 doesn't divide that badly. 11.6. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You're going to be a 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You're going to be on 11. And that's how we problem solve on this channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You're 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now we do the other side. I guess I should do this. We're almost done. Then we get to do the fun part, which is painting and unwrapping. All the days. I might put water on the days that are already open. I might deeply regret that when my fingers get covered in paint. When I have to unwrap other days, but 1, 2, 3. Oh, now it's like 4. Why is this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That seems really off. That's wrong. And it was always fun when you draw a line and like as soon as you do it, you know it's wrong. All right. Still a little big, but that's better. Right. There we go. The grid's all done. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set it up like this so that I can just sort of crop the video and turn it into shorts. So I'm going to get this as straight as I can and make my life really easy. And yeah. So this is going to definitely be a slow process because everything will have to dry between all the layers. There are a lot of colors in this set. Oh, I just realized I can't do what I planned to do. I was planning to skip colors and do the next color next, but I can't do that. How am I going to do this? That's a great question. I guess we're going to unwrap them all. And I'm just gonna like number my videos with the days. So this is day 10, so this is yesterday's advent calendar color, which I believe is like a hot pink, I wanna say. Yep. It's very pretty. Number 10. Number 11. Somebody might have got their video out for number 11 yet, but I actually don't know. I haven't been on Instagram today much. So I have no idea if there's a video. Oh, I love number 11. Number 12. That. Number 13. I remember that green doing some weird things. It's got some like fun effect to it. It's 14. Mom is right. They do totally look like a box of chocolates as I unwrap them. Oh, I forgot about that one. It's a very, very like deep midnight blue, shimmery color. 15. start with 16. So my pan's labeled 18. So I wonder if my 16 and my 18 got swapped. We'll find out. 17. Here's 18. Or somebody's ended up with two 16s and I've ended up with two 18s. But we'll know when we open this pan. Yep, my 16 and my 18 got swapped. So I will send Laura a note about that. That somehow they got mislabeled. And that 16 in the calendar, at least for me, was actually 18. I do love, the early days are so traditionally Christmassy. And then you get into like later colors. You've got like the pastels with the blue, the green, the pink, the purple. And now you're like in gem tones. And then you've got the final week. This is 19. We have another very gem tone green that very much goes with these four. This is 20. Look at that chrome. 21. I do like how we did a mix of like traditionally Christmas colors and then some just like fun, untraditional Christmas colors that you see. Like these are very much like Christmas colors you see on Hallmark cards. And so we wanted a very well-rounded set. Another very different sparkly green. There are a lot of very sparkly greens in this set because there are so many green variations. There's a very, very sparkly orange for all of your fire accents on burning Yule logs. And 24. Where we have a black, which I actually use a shimmer black a shocking amount on Christmas cards because sometimes you need something dark and just that pop of shimmer. So let's wet the rest of these. I have a feeling some of these are going to absorb more water than others. But we'll see. I have a feeling this is going to absorb quite a lot of water. Those type of pigments just sometimes do. Let's grab red. Wasn't dry. All right. First time in a very long time we're pulling out the heat tool. Because because I don't want to draw out a grid on a new piece of paper. And so we're going to dry this piece of paper. All right, that might be my new best friend for this because it went so much faster with the heat tool than it does normally. We have the very shimmery green. If I want to bamf through all these colors, I need to do them with some amount of speed. What I also like about this is it's so different than last year's Christmas collection. Last year's Christmas collection was Color Shift Hollows, which I use all the time. I use them a lot in Christmas cards this year. But this Christmas collection is just very different and super fabulous. All right, up next we have white, which is not going to show up on this paper. Pretty much at all. But a good shimmer white is so useful. One for like just layering. I find that I reach for white quite often to like add snow to pieces, or to use, I'll like mix a little bit of something else in with white if I want to make snow. But it's also really useful on black paper. So I'm glad Laura's finally come out with a white. All right, up next we have the chocolate brown. We have this like glacier blue color. So for snow, I'll actually probably mix this and a little bit of a ghost in with the white to make sort of that perfect, really reflective snow color that I'm going for on cards. I've posted this year's Christmas card color list, and including the custom mix I used for snow this year, But I do sort of alter my snow mix every year. All right, silver chrome. This is like liquid molten metal. Oh, that tin is hot. Such a fun color. God, how hot these tins get when you dry directly on them. Because they are metal tins, they do conduct heat quite well. So, when you're using a heat tool, do be careful. So that you don't get burnt. All right, next we have this very like pinky orange, goldy red color. I think it's super pretty. There's a drop of water on my brush that I don't want to fall on this page. It is really fun to see a project that I've only seen pictures of on my desk. That's always fun. All right, let's try this. This is also not the brush I'd normally use for watercolor swatching of shimmers, but I'm in the middle of cleaning brushes, and it is the brush I currently have clean. So it is the brush currently being used because I have a bathroom counter full of paintbrushes that I am in the middle of cleaning or need to be cleaned. I love a good lime green. I think people, especially as like a shimmer watercolor, like overlook them. But sometimes you just need that really bright pop of color to brighten up a piece. And I've definitely had those pieces like that where I've just needed the bright pop of lime green. All right. I realized I forgot to unmute you for that talk about the pink. There are very few of those really pale pink pigments on the market that I find truly pink. I'd say there are probably about 4 pigments on the market like that. And I've got, I think, all of the different ones in my palette. And Laura just happens to have picked my favorite one for this palette, which is really fun. Let's look at this lilac. I don't think I've got a lilac like this in my palette. I can't think of any off the top of my head, which tells me I probably don't. I thought at first when I opened it, it was similar to a Wanderlust color that I adore. That was actually my introduction to the handmade watercolor world, but it's really not. And it's got sort of like an iridescent opalescent shimmer to it. It's quite pretty. These swatches are not as pretty as I'd like them to be. They're a bit chunky at the top. I just made it worse. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that brown a little bit. So just looking at this next paint in the pan, it reminds me of a tester that I have from Laura going back like 4 years. I'm gonna have to text her and see if I'm right, because I think this is a very, very old color that we've talked about that also needs a whole bunch of water. But I know that because I know what pigment it is, and you've seen me use it in pieces before, because I think this is the pigment for Kingpin. If my palette was still sitting next to me, I'd grab Kingpin, but I'm fairly sure that Kingpin, which people have asked about before, because to my knowledge it never made the shop. It was only ever a tester. I think it's finally been released. And the reason I love this color is that it's a very flaky color. Don't do that. That's rude. It's a very flaky hollow that I've used a lot in fire pieces over the years to like accent flames and to do all that fun stuff, because you can put it on very thinly, you can glaze it, but it adds a very subtle shift and it's very flaky, and it's just absolutely stunning as I get it all over my desk. And I'm actually not gonna dry it because if it's Kingpin, which I'm fairly sure it is, it does not like heat. Color shift pigments are not a huge fan of heat. Ooh. I thought I knew what you were, but now I'm not sure that I know what you are. All right. You're very pretty though. So what I thought that was a color fairly similar to Hydrocolor Gamma. It's not. It's not a color shift, but it's a pretty similar tone. Indigo. Oh. Oh. So I don't know that the magic of this color is coming out on camera, because it's sparkling like stars in the night sky. It's sort of like Ferris wheel press stroke of midnight, where you go, oh, it's just like a pretty indigo, and then you go, oh, actually it's an indigo with like 20 different shimmers in it. Where's paper? There's paper. Got, I think it might have a hollow shimmer in it. Not like a big hollow flake to it, but like a little hollow flake, a subtle one. All right, so it dries, I'd say slightly more like Prussian bluish, but there's definitely some other colors of glitter going on in that color, which is always fun. Yes, but I know what you are, and I know that you're just going to keep absorbing water, because I've had you as a tester before. Look at that plum. Oh, stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Oh. Yeah, I still love that as much as when I had it as a sample. That's always the thing. Like, sometimes I get these as samples years before they end up in a palette, so, or in the shop. And so things like this color. Like, I've had years to play with it. And things like this, if it's the pigment, I'm fairly sure it is after swatching it out, I've had for a while. And I've used it a couple times. But it's always interesting to use colors that like aren't available in pieces. I try not to do that. And so it's definitely one of those really cool colors. All right, let's try this. All right, next up is this very, very dark blue. I love those four together. Here's, I was gonna say, here's the second to last green. Nope, we've got a couple more greens, or greenish colors. I love this green though. Super pretty. All right, let's dry it. Okay. Here we go. Our sort of like emeraldy, jewelly. I think this is a chrome. I want to say it's a chrome. It's got the sort of like effect a chrome would have. And chromes don't love heat. But in this case, I don't really care. If it's like a proper piece, I would care quite a lot. You can see how this chrome got sort of bubbly, like chromes just don't like heat, but I don't have it in me to care right now. Well, I do, but this is just like a swatch card and I want to see all the colors. All right, next up we have another chrome for all your very pretty Advent needs. Oh, that tin was hot. I might have just burned myself. I think I did. Huh, That's fun. Hold up there so that I don't, roast my finger more. Oh yeah, I did. I actually burnt my finger. That's why you should be careful with heat tools. And that chrome really didn't like any heat. Got very, very bubbly. But we have 4 colors left. There's one. I like that I totally missed the bottom edge because I couldn't see it. So let's fix that. Is that how we're going to melt down? The annoying thing is, like, however paint melts is how a paint's going to melt. So I'm sort of going to have to, like, get this one over time to melt how I want it to melt down. Sometimes it just, like, softens how it wants to soften, and that's not... I prefer sort of like this, how it's most of the top at the same time. This one was more pillow topped though, and it's just like doing its own thing, which is slightly annoying. All right, 2 colors left. We have our very, very orange for all those lovely fireplaces and Yule logs. And all your warm inside cozy, not 2 feet of snow things. And then finally, we have a nice solid black that, much like the indigo, has a bit of a selection of other shimmers going on in it to make it a little bit more interesting. Great for all of those sort of lettering on Christmas cards. I use a black quite a lot, black shimmer quite a lot for lettering. I also use it for hooks on Christmas balls. Really, it's one of those really versatile colors that I think a lot of the time we overlook when it comes to paints. So there we are. There are the 24 colors that appeared in this year's Cozmick Creations Advent set. I quite like them. It's interesting to see colors like this that I'm very sure I had as a testers over the years finally appear in sets. And it's quite a fun set and collection. And I think definitely if you had no handmade watercolors in your palette or no shimmer paints, this gives you a very good place to start, especially if what you want to do is cards. Because really it gives you a fairly good selection of colors for both Christmas cards and other cards. You've got all the lovely holiday colors for accenting cards, as well as the sort of more hallmarky holiday card colors, which I think is absolutely perfect. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Membership is available. And as always, I hope you enjoyed.